What's up?
Hi.
I'm super cool. Also, I'm Alex Keller.
Yo, I'm super lame. I'm Mike Hardy.
I don't know. That's a bad way to start anything. And this is the Filmtastic Voyage.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Filmtastic Voyage, where the points don't matter and everybody wins, or whatever the fuck that phrase is.
Yep. Except in this case, everyone loses.
Listen, everybody put on your helmets and visors. All our Filmtastic Voyagers out there, put on your helmets and visors. Strap in, all right? We're going for a wild ride.
Mm-hmm. We're like that commercial that they did for the, what was it? The sound, like the cassette commercial where that guy gets blown away in his chair. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, never mind. It's maybe it's a little before your time.
Before my time? You're before. I'm before your time, pal.
It's like a famous commercial where some guy like is in like a chair and like he just puts on like a record in front of a speaker. He gets like blown back.
Oh,
He's like,
okay.
You know,
it's like yeah.
The kids might not. It's like it was like
it's a logo. It's like a little picture of the guy getting blown away.
I mean, it was also like I think a live action commercial too.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Some commercial or some cassette company.
A remnant of a bygone era.
Yeah, it's long forgotten for like anyone under the age of my age, I guess, probably doesn't remember it.
Can you imagine 3,000 years from now, people are digging through ruins and they're going to find that somewhere, just a little picture of a dude getting blown away in his recliner chair by a... I think that's what we'll be remembered by.
Man, I can only imagine like going through things that aren't totally, decomposed by now, and just being like even nowadays, just being like, what the fuck is this?
Right. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of weird shit. Listen, I hold to this theory that, sometime way in the future, right, when civilization has kind of deconstructed and reconstructed again, let's say.
Like Star Trek style.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's sort of like us with the ancient Romans or whatever, right? Or the ancient Greeks. And people will be like, yeah, dude, back in the 20th century, 21st century, they had these superheroes in real life. There was like Batman, got dude dressed up like a bat.
I think there'll be enough evidence that people will be able to infer what's real and what's not.
Hopefully. I think it would be hilarious if they somehow got the impression, though, that like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, let's say, were just like actual...
I don't think anyone's going, like, people aren't like looking at Gilgamesh and being like, can you believe that guy actually existed? That's fucking weird, man.
Yeah, you're right. Not feasible, but one can dream.
Yeah. Also, it depends on, they'll also be like preserved, I assume, in comic book form, which is pretty simple to understand what the hell's going on there.
Yeah.
You know what interesting to me? You know how sometimes trees like eat fences?
I guess.
Trees like slowly grow over fences, like absorb them into themselves.
Oh.
Can you imagine like 1,000 years when societies collapse and new societies cutting down trees and stuff, and they just find like part of a fence inside of a tree, and they're like, what the fuck is this? This tree has grown metal.
That would be interesting. If people find ruins and it's like entire cities that like nature has sort of taken back, Like,
well, we find those nowadays, except it's the sea.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Or volcanoes sometimes.
But could you imagine like
sand.
a giant skyscraper that's just sort of been like...
No, that will probably collapse by the time new society comes. Yeah, have you seen that show Life After People or whatever that show was called on the History Channel or the Discovery Channel or whatever channel does that kind of stuff?
I think I have.
I watched it when it was just a like 2-hour long special where it was like, when people disappear, shit just kind of stops working.
Right, yeah.
Who would have thought? I thought it was pretty interesting though.
I saw one thing talking about, I don't know what this was called or whatever, but it was like, if people suddenly disappeared, and it was like all the domesticated dogs would suddenly have this weird new like hierarchy of shit that would happen with it. Like basically all the big dogs would form a herd and they would eat all the small dogs.
Yeah, probably.
And that's what this thing said.
Well, I also saw that most dogs wouldn't be able to get out of their own houses.
Well, there's that too, yeah. But all the dogs that could, it's like all the big dogs would form just a roaming herd that would track down like, smaller animals and smaller dogs included and just eat them, which is gross. But there you go. Yeah, that's life without humans.
Yep. Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? Now, Alex, what's news, man? I know I'm just chomping at the bit to talk about some things. My October's been kind of fun stuff.
Well, last episode you were like, "Oh man, gotta tell you about this movie called Motherfuckers or whatever."
Oh, that's right.
You didn't even tell me about it. Now you gotta tell me about it.
Yeah, and since I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore last episode, I'll talk about that movie. So everybody, I saw this movie called Motherfuckers.
Or MFKZ for you anime fans.
MFKZ.
I think that's actually probably what it's called. It's probably not called Motherfuckers.
It's something close to that.
Well, it's MFKZ, is it not?
It's like Motherfuckers or something.
Oh, you mean like, it's in katakana?
Yeah. It's, but I'm just, for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to say Motherfuckers because I'm not quite sure. But this is a Japanese production about... It's a Japanese production that takes place in sort of this fantasy version of Los Angeles, which is interesting in itself.
Because it's made from foreigners.
Well, I mean, I guess if I was to jump forward, there was like this behind the scenes special after the credits.
It's one of those fancy things.
Yeah, and they were talking about how they, this Japanese team had to research a lot of Los Angeles, and specifically like downtown and like south of that, where it's like gangland and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, culturally speaking, they even said like, yeah, we don't really understand like this whole thing. Like, we don't understand like street gangs that are like,
They have Yakuza.
They have Yakuza, but what I'm talking about is they had to do a lot of research into, like, for example, like, Crips versus Bloods or, stuff like that. Like, they had to do a lot of that kind of research. But anyways, this movie is like... it was a 2017 movie, so I can't say it's one of my favorite movies of 2018, even though I saw it in theaters in 2018, but I don't know if that counts, right?
No, I don't think it counts.
It doesn't, right, yeah. So... I would say the first half of this movie is just fucking amazing, and I love it. And it's like so different and so wacky and full of so much energy and motivation and momentum in the first half of the movie. The second half of the movie is good, but you can sort of tell that it switches over to something a bit less visceral and weird, and something a little bit more high concept. Okay, now we're just watching. Now we're just watching something that feels much more like an anime. But it was still good. If I can get my hands on it, I would love to buy it and watch it again.
Oh, sure, it's out there somewhere. It will be eventually. I mean,
yeah,
was it dubbed or subbed?
Well, we saw it dubbed, but
which means it's probably going to come out on DVD eventually. Then.
Yeah, but let me tell you, I know there's a lot of people that prefer sub over dub, and I totally understand that.
We've had this discussion on air.
This movie you should see dubbed.
I'm sure. I mean, again, like I said, I prefer movies to be dubbed.
Well,
but a lot of the times they don't have very high quality casts.
What I mean though is with this movie, the dub is very like Americanized.
Oh, good localization.
Yes,
nice.
Like it's them talking like LA people would talk, and it's like, wow, this is. You know what I mean? You can't even tell that it's dubbed, basically. It's nice. Like, it's just very, like, yeah.
That's the nice thing about anime, too. It's easy to dub, too, because of the lack of mouth or lip sync.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's one character that's literally just a skull, a top half of a skull, and he doesn't move his mouth or anything, so it's like, yeah. We went on a Saturday, and it was literally 6 people in the entire showing, which is sad.
Yeah, it's one of those, what do you call it? What's that thing called when like AMC does?
Oh, Fathom events?
Yeah, one of them Fathom events, right?
Well, it was a Fathom event, but then I guess on just this random day, or maybe no, it was out for about a week. They just had it showing for like 3 or 4 showings a day. Yeah, it was running for a few days, but no one was seeing it. I guess
people were probably going to go see Doctor Who in theaters because that was happening too.
Yeah, I caught some of that.
What, in theaters?
No, not in theaters.
The crowd.
I've seen some of the new season.
Oh, how is it?
I like it. I think it's good.
Have you seen the old seasons? Are you caught up?
I've seen. Well, here's the thing. I saw like the best bits of Eccleston and some of the best bits of Tennant.
There's no best bits of Eccleston.
He was fun.
No, he's fine.
He's sort of like your street tough Doctor Who.
I don't think he's that tough. Everyone says he's tough. He just seems like a goofy guy.
He's kind of, but what I mean is like there's nothing like fanciful about him. He's just very like plain.
Yeah.
And then I saw some Tennant, and I'm like, hey, this guy looks like me.
I don't remember filming any of this.
Listen, for anybody who doesn't know, I don't know if I've said this on the air, but if we're talking college Mike Harding, it's like I had this hair, I had contacts, I had this like raincoat, right? And I looked a lot like
a duster.
Yeah, I was like a duster, and everybody would always ask me like, "Yeah, you know that you look like David Tennant?" I'm like, "Yeah, I look like David Tennant."
I look like Matt Smith apparently. I don't know. I'm just making jokes.
You got some similar features to him.
Yeah, my long face.
I haven't seen much of Matt Smith.
Matt Smith. Well, he was my favorite Doctor. I didn't. So my Doctor, if you must watched reboot season 1.
Eccleston, you're talking about?
Yeah, watched Eccleston. Watched the first 3 or 4 episodes of Tenet, and then it was like.
So you weren't a Tenet fan.
And then I was like, this is just like I saw enough of the Matt Smith stuff to be like, I need this to be higher budget. I cannot. This is just too goofy.
Well, and the funny thing is by the time it reached Matt Smith, that was the highest budget that show
exactly.
had.
Well, exactly.
And it still was
it's still goofy, but like it wasn't like it was like, well, like Christopher Eccleston, you got like big baby aliens that are farting and stuff. It's like not like cheap, but like stupid, you know. And like it seems when I guess was that when Moffat became showrunner? When he became showrunner, it became a little more like. Kind of like more. I don't want to call it serious, but I don't know. I caught like the best of Tenet. Like I watched like Blink and like the end of that.
Blink, yeah, I saw.
Not in order and like disparate pieces, but I had enough of a history with Tenet like over the years to figure out what happens, and then so I jumped right into Matt Smith. Really liked that season 5 or whatever it was, and then watched everything until Capaldi, until the episode where the moon's a giant egg. And I'm like, you know what? I'm out of here.
And how was Capaldi? I haven't seen
He was a fine Doctor.
I haven't seen a damn thing of Capaldi.
I dropped the show because the writing got really stale, where basically every episode was like, the Doctor's a fucking asshole who won't tell you anything what's going on.
Oh, right.
Kind of expect you to figure it out, and then you end up doing it, and he's like, good job, you figured it out. I'm like, great. And also, I hated his companion, and like, she just kept clinging on, and then like she like started going out with some guy. Like, I can't. I'm out. I don't want to deal with this. I'm out of here.
Oh yeah. There was an honest trailer about Doctor Who that pointed out that, and I don't know this because I haven't seen enough of the show, but he apparently ruins the lives of all of his companions.
I think that's kind of the general way it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, like Matt Smith's first companions' lives weren't technically ruined, but they were kind of ruined. They were pretty ruined.
So, I mean, okay, if you were to pick someone out of the new cast, who is the quintessential Doctor Who? Who is the one Doctor Who that everybody would be like, huh, that's the one I think
It's like asking who your favorite James Bond is.
Because I feel like it's probably between Tennant and Smith, right?
Well, people like this new one, but she's only had like 2 episodes.
Well, yeah. She's great, too. I so far, so good, I say.
I think it's probably between I mean, if we're talking the new Doctor Who, it's probably between Tennant and Smith.
Well, and old Doctor Who, I feel like most people are sort of like...
I think most people will probably just say the 4th Doctor and leave it at that.
Which one's the 4th one?
The guy with the scarf. Scarf guy.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's the one that... Yeah.
Tom Baker, I believe his name is. He's in Star Wars Rebels as the Bendu.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because there was a movie... This is a Fathom event. There was a movie where it was a crossover with with all the Doctor Who's up to a certain point. I think it was up to the 5th Doctor Who.
Oh, one of the old crossovers.
Yeah, and it was they couldn't get the 4th Doctor to be in the movie. So what they did is they took stock footage from some movie that Doctor did that, like, I guess was never released, right? So they just took stock footage from that movie that was never released and they put it into this movie, and they just had something happen where he got captured or something, and then he was just out of the movie for the rest of the...
Yeah, I mean, like, that's probably not... I mean, that's not better than what they did with the other thing where Christopher Eccleston wouldn't come back. They just made a newer, different Doctor.
Oh,
and
seriously?
just kind of shoved it into the continuity.
You talking about John Hurt?
Yeah.
But John Hurt's a treasure.
No, I'm not saying... I think that's the if you're going to write off that character, you just get John Hurt to do it.
Right, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That was the best way of going about doing it, was that it's like, oh, you know, I'm not actually the 11th Doctor or whatever. I'm actually the 12th Doctor. It's
yeah.
Because, you know, it's like, well, that's just confusing.
Well, because wasn't he the one... Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but within the continuity of Doctor Who, there was that 16-year gap in the series, right? And in that time, there was some big war that happened, and that was the John Hurt Doctor or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, yeah, something like
that. Yeah.
And also there was the TV movie starring...
Oh, right. There was a one-off. It was just one...
Who was it? Isn't that the guy who's in Star Wars Episode 9? Or am I making that up?
I don't know.
I think it is, because everyone's like, Star Wars now has Doctor Who and... No, wait, Matt Smith is the Doctor Who character.
Right, yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
That guy was the other guy from Withnail and I then. It wasn't the Doctor Who Withnail and I. It was Withnail and Withnail and I. Maybe it's not. I don't remember anymore. Who's who?
Who is it? Who?
Huh?
Listen, I want to write a Doctor Who movie, and it's going to be Doctor Who meets Doctor What, Doctor How, Doctor Why, and Doctor When.
Well, no, his name's not Doctor Who. You do know that.
He's the Doctor, yeah. Okay, I get
it. Like Doctor Who, you know, all that.
But you know, let's do a Darkest Night thing here, right? Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's throw in some more doctors.
I mean, technically, you just have like other professions, right? Because you got the master, and it's just like they just give themselves grandson, and then you get like the architect.
So, like psychologist who?
No, it'd be like, yeah, exactly.
Construction worker who?
Oh, probably constructor who?
Professor who?
Professor Who, that's a good one. I like that. Oh, I'd watch Professor Who.
President Who?
President Who, yes. I mean, you remember in, was it the David Tennant thing, or isn't Timothy Dalton President Who in one of those?
Is he really? I don't remember.
Not literally, but he's like the leader of of Gallifrey or the.
Oh, okay.
It's like, hey, Timothy Dalton, good to see you.
He's aged very well. He's a handsome man.
He's a fucking James Bond. Of course, he's aging well. Except Sean Connery did not age well.
I don't know about that.
There was a 10-year period where he didn't, and then he got like then he became kind of like the Untouchables when he got to like Untouchables at like 1989, and like then he was like real good. You know, then he became good aged again. But like if you look at like Diamond's Eye Forever, and especially if you look at like Never Say Never Again. It's just not great. Then he lets his hair get gray.
He grew the beard.
And he grew the beard.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
That's what he needed to do.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah. He's still around. I don't even...
He retired.
Yeah, but like how old... Like, he must be older than Clint Eastwood, right?
No, he's just golfing. I don't know.
Okay. It's just crazy. Like he's like... And I don't know how he looks nowadays, but I'm sure he looks fantastic.
He like lives in like the woods somewhere... And he's been dead for years. Like, honestly, like I'm not like saying like, because like Sean Connery's a treasure and I don't want him to be dead. But like, I have to think of a hypothetical situation where a celebrity, like someone like a really big like celebrity.
Oh, they've just been off
the grid.
They
just go off the grid. They retire. They go to the woods somewhere in the big estate they own. And they just like.
They've long died.
They've like maybe for whatever reason they've long died. And
Stephen Baldwin.
Why Stephen Baldwin?
Oh, I don't know. I just haven't heard from him.
I'm sure Billy Baldwin, tries to sends him a letter every week or two.
Billy Baldwin is like, he looks like Alec Baldwin if Alec Baldwin went through some like traumatic shit or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know what Billy Baldwin looks like off the top of my head.
He's like just a thinner,
was he the guy
rattier looking.
Was he the Backdraft Baldwin?
I don't know. I never saw that.
Because there's the Baldwin from Backdraft. There's the Baldwin from the Usual Suspects.
That's Stephen Baldwin.
Okay, and they might both be. I don't really remember.
Stephen Baldwin's a weird dude.
I don't know. I don't know who's weird, who's not. I can't say. Was Alec? I don't know enough about the Baldwin's history. Was it Alec Baldwin the one that became famous and like took his brothers with him?
Yes.
Or were they like all tried to be famous together at once, and he's the only one that technically made it? Even though they've all headlined movies.
Well, according to him, he was the hardworking one of his brothers, according to him. And, you know, honestly, I think I would actually believe that. Because the other two, they have a very different personality from Adam Baldwin. I don't know. I would not want to be in a room with the Baldwins. I feel like they're very cantankerous.
Yeah, I feel especially Alec Baldwin. I feel like he might try and kill me.
I feel like before I would even get a word in edgewise, he'd probably be like criticizing the shit out of me.
He'd probably be like he is in the Boss Baby. He was like, "Get me some fucking tuna, you know, some spicy tuna rolls."
You haven't seen The Shadow, right?
No, not yet.
That's right.
I haven't seen Boss Baby. I've seen the last 20 minutes of Boss Baby.
That's really all you need to see is the last 20 minutes. Well, the last 20 minutes I thought was like, wow, this is like kind of classy and cool. The rest of the movie's just schlock. I mean, not schlock, but it's just very much a kid's movie and like your usual kind of, you know, we're getting from point A to point B, you guys.
This year, having almost ended, like yesterday, I think it was, I was like, there hasn't been a DreamWorks movie this year. That's weird.
Oh, really?
And there won't be. Well, I assume it's because like they got like bought recently, and they had to like kind of reset the clock a bit. So I think this year is their off year because it's probably the year where they kind of reshuffled some things. But you got Dragons next year, and I think something else also. They're going back to their 2 a year. They just.
Are you thrilled to see the Dragons movie?
I thought Dragons 1 was amazing, and I thought Dragons 2 was just okay. So I'm kind of, I'll see it. But I'm not like thrilled.
Yeah,
I'm
same here. I'll see it, but I'm not thrilled.
Like trying to think of I can't think of an animated movie coming up that I'm thrilled to see aside from that Spider-Man movie, I guess.
I just kind of wish some of these kids movies would like grow up with me, you know? Like by the time
Toy Story 3 where it's about being sad.
Well, you know, it's like by the time Toy Story 3 comes out, it's like Woody's like smoking cigarettes and like, you know, Buzz Lightyear's got like a alcohol problem or so, you know. Or the Slinky Dog just like lost his job, so now he's he's trying to find employment and shit.
I think you might be asking for too much out of your animated movies, Mike.
I mean, what if the rules were different though? What if
also it should be, you know, Andy's all grown up, or he steals the toys back from that little girl and then like pawns them for blow.
See, yeah. Okay, there was I felt like there was kind of and no, I'm not going to say a missed opportunity because Toy Story 3 is perfect. I wouldn't change anything about it. But how interesting would it be if Andy was not like this perfect kid? You know what I mean? And like in Toy Story 3, he just grows up to be just this perfect 18-year-old guy.
He's got a good mom. Just taught him some good values she did.
You know, but what if he was like, you know, getting busted for fucking DUIs and stuff?
Well, I think the thing about that is that it's not his story, it's the toy's story. And he has to just sort of be a vessel.
Listen, he brings Woody and Buzz in.
I think if he was getting, also the thing is like if you're getting busted for DUIs, there's no way that you wouldn't be having, your toys would be long burned.
He brings Woody and Buzz into the car with him. All right, he's drinking and driving, and they're like in the back seat, just like going crazy. And then he gets pulled over by the cops, and Buzz and Woody are like trying to help him out by talking to the cops or something, right?
That's it. You cross the line. Toys ain't talking to no one,
except if they're Sid.
Well, that was different.
Yeah,
gotta teach him a lesson.
They talk to people in desperate situations. Which if we're getting into the nitty-gritty of this, Sid's toys, right? Mm-hmm. He's tortured all his toys. He's blown them up and shit. You would think that, like, a toy that's getting, like, mangled and cut open, You'd think the moment the knife is like touching the surface, that toy would be like, "Hey, dude, don't kill me."
Well, they had like some weird involuntary thing because like even Buzz Lightyear, like when a human enters the room, he ragdolls.
I would say it is involuntary, but at the end of the Toy Story movie, it's established that it's not involuntary. I think you have to right? Because Woody's hey,
you gotta like concentrate. You gotta put your mind to it, Otherwise, like if like it just happens, I don't know how it works. It's magic. Don't worry about it.
Because Woody's just like, hey, shithead, don't do this, and then Sid flips out, and then they save the day or whatever, right?
Sid is one of those classic things where people on the internet will be like, Sid's just misunderstood. He's just a kid or whatever. And everyone's like, he was also a fucking thief who would steal and destroy his sister's toys. He was a dickhead.
A Sid apologist, yeah.
Like it's like, Gaston wasn't such a bad guy. It's like, fuck Gaston. What are you talking about?
I feel like there is a subculture nowadays that would be a Gaston
I have seen
defendant.
So many people talking about how Gaston's like not really a villain.
Seriously?
He's just trying to protect his village from stuff, and it's like you're missing everything about his character, like every single thing you couldn't.
I mean, Beast was kind of a monster too, but he is a beast.
Yeah, but like, there's a video I watched recently that explains why the difference between the live action movie Beast and animated movie Beast. How animated movie Beast is a good guy at heart, even though he's just kind of angry, and live action movie Beast is just a dickhead.
Never saw it. You talking about the Emma Watson?
Yeah.
I
guess you could watch it. I guess you don't need to.
Yeah.
But like, this is a famous YouTube essayist, Lindsay Ellis, great stuff. She made a video talking about basically in the animated one, Beast, through his Glenn Keane's excellent animation, his good facial expressions and all that stuff, is able to be like, geez, I shouldn't have gotten mad, whoopsie, or like
there was something.
Or he's like trying to
him.
be like, it's like just why don't you go stay in this room? Don't you want to sleep in the fucking prison?
Right, yeah.
And that kind of stuff. Whereas like on Dan Stevens, Prettiest Man Alive, Dan Stevens' Beast in that in that reboot movie, it's just sort of like, just kind of like a dickhead, just like, hey, you suck, or whatever. I don't know. Like she makes a lot of better points than I. It's like something I didn't think about till watching that. But then again, I've only ever seen.
Now he plays the Beast and the human form, right?
Well, yeah. Why
I automatically disagree with that.
That's why.
Well, let me tell you. Was he a scary looking beast?
He was a CGI monster.
Oh, he was CGI. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was Dan Stevens in just like werewolf makeup or some shit.
No.
Okay.
But that's how they did in the this is the 40s version.
Oh yeah.
That's a good movie. It's like Guillermo del Toro's most favorite movie. It's got those famous candelabras that are being held up by hands.
See, that doesn't surprise me that that's Guillermo del Toro's favorite movie.
Or something like that. It's one of them.
Has he has he announced anything?
He won the Oscar. Give him some slack,
Yeah.
Let him take a vacation.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of which, you see the Aladdin trailer or teaser?
Yeah.
It's a teaser.
It sure is. That sure is a teaser. Hey, I mean, inconclusive, I guess.
The only thing I've heard is Aladdin's hair looks too nice.
Oh, whatever. People can.
And people were like, "Man, the Cave of Wonders is like actually like a cave." That's fuck this movie.
Listen, people. Okay, this is gonna sound bold, Alex, but people can fuck off. It's a 30-second trailer that shows nothing. It shows absolutely nothing. If people are already complaining, then just like whatever, right? Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Whatever. I have high hopes.
I mean, we'll see. I'd like to see a more specific trailer. A real trailer.
Do we know who's playing Jafar?
Some guy.
Do we know? Okay.
I don't remember who.
I'm looking forward to seeing that how that pans out.
It
needs to be someone that's really thin in the face.
I think I read that both Raja the tiger and Abu the monkey have been replaced by
people,
the humans.
Yeah.
I think one or both of them are white people too, just to have that, you have your.
So like Jasmine cuddles with this, Jasmine just cuddles with some white guy.
No, I think it's a girl, and I think it's Aladdin's friend, some white guy.
Okay.
And I don't know if this might just be me reading something wrong or hearing something. I don't really remember the source on this, but that's what I've heard.
Interesting.
So.
I don't know what to think of that.
I don't care. I'm just sort of just like, isn't that like they're cutting down the animals? To be fair, monkeys suck. So, I'm putting my hands down. Monkeys are the worst.
I mean, I'm sure they're kind of mischievous, and they can be a little bit mischievous. Those monkeys. So, when you're trying to roll camera, I don't want that shit. Speaking of Disney, Alex, I'm about to get into a long-winded thing here.
Oh,
are y'all ready for this?
Maybe.
Let's rewind the clock a year ago. Both Alex and I were at a rap party. And
right.
Long story short, without any details included, Alex won some Disney tickets, and he gave them to me because Alex is just a nice guy like that. You and your girlfriend, very nice. So I went with myself and my girlfriend, and we had a very nice day this last weekend at Disneyland.
Did you go on the Pirates of the Caribbean? Well, I guess you could have gone there. I was going to say the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Well, let me. You mind if I take a moment to dissect our trip?
No, I want to talk.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, we spent most of the day in Disneyland, and we spent some of the time in California Adventure, but we weren't able to really go on much in California Adventure.
Oh yeah, if you're only going to spend some time, you ain't getting on the good rides.
Yeah. So, see, here's the thing that sucks is we had a plan to go on the quote unquote good rides in California Adventure, but I'll get to that because there was some weird circumstances with what we wanted to do.
Basically, you really only can choose one because both Guardians and that Cars ride have like 2-hour waits.
Yes.
So you have to choose one.
Right.
And that you have to go in early, get your fast pass, and come back later. That's for folks. If you have the Park Hoppers pass or whatever, that's what you should do if you're doing it for the first time.
Long story short, the Cars ride broke down.
Oh no!
And then when it reopened, it was 3-hour-long wait.
I don't understand
for
how
that.
anyone could wait in anything for over an hour and a half.
I don't understand
75
that either.
minutes is my personal tops. I will not wait in a line that's more than 75 minutes long.
Listen, if you are coming from fucking Nebraska and your one goal in life is to ride that Cars ride, then I get it. But if you're just some Californian, then
I mean, even then, you could watch a whole Lord of the Ring in that time.
Yes, I know.
You could watch 2 Disney movies in the time you're waiting to get on a 4-minute ride.
Yeah,
it's not worth the investment ever. I don't understand.
So this is basically what I'll say, and I apologize. This might be long-winded, but hey, guys, it's Disneyland. It's fun. It's so much fun.
Did you go on Star Tours? Did you go on Space Mountain?
Well, okay, yes. So we decided to hit the big hits, right? And that was Indiana Jones, Star Tours.
That ride broke down for me last time. Anyways, continue.
Haunted Mansion.
Nice.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, Indiana Jones was a little bit different and maybe slightly disappointing.
Why is that?
Because there used to be a giant-ass snake. You remember that giant-ass snake?
No.
You don't remember a giant-ass snake?
No.
I do.
Well, I'll have to ask my girlfriend. She probably knows.
Okay. Well, see, that's weird because we both remembered this giant-ass snake that was somehow not in the ride anymore.
It's hard to tell. I mean, where was it? Was it on the ride or?
It was on. Well, it's you go into the tunnels and all that, and then there's a fucking giant-ass snake. But I mean, there were snakes, so it was fun. It was still a fun ride. There's still the boulder and all that. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong. I don't know.
I don't remember that. I remember a big statue.
There was the big statue.
I mean, I'm sure it's still there. When last time I went on, the lights were all broken, so we didn't the ball part was just in total darkness, and
weird.
It's huh.
Pirates of the Caribbean was fun, of course. Always great.
Yeah.
It's top-notch ride.
I've gotten my fill of that. I've been on that one pretty much every time, and I've been on that ride 5 times in the last 2 or 3 years. I'm you know what? I don't think I need to go on Pirates anytime soon.
Well, what's interesting about that is that was different because I went in 2015, so it's been a little while since I've been to Disneyland.
Oh, you went before the renovation?
I think so.
And now they have Jack Sparrow.
No, he was there last time too.
Okay.
But this time I noticed they got rid of Davy Jones. There used to be a Davy Jones face that would talk to you, and they got rid of that. Haunted Mansion was a very long wait. The ride broke down 3 times when we were in there, which is crazy. But what was cool about it was all decked out with Nightmare Before Christmas stuff.
Yeah, it's always fun, but it's like that for 3 months of the year. It's a little much.
Yeah. Well, from Halloween until Christmas.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Star Tours is always fun.
Love Star Tours. Where'd you go?
It was fun because I hadn't seen this one yet, but I was a little, just a smidge bummed out because we went to Naboo and then we went under the water and then Jar Jar pops up and he's talking to us and then we're going through the planet core.
You went to Atagunga?
Yes. But the planet core was cool because this giant fish bit onto the thing and started shaking it.
Big goober fish.
Yeah. So that was fun. I think all of those always start off with Hoth, right?
No.
No? Okay.
No, I've been to lots of different ones.
Because ours was Hoth, and then it was episode 1 stuff.
No, I mean, like, I don't know where. It's not always Hoth. I've been to Hoth a couple of times, but it always starts with something different.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Kashyyyk a few times. Like, when episode 8 came out, they was like, you guaranteed to hit Crate. You were guaranteed to hit Jakku when they did episode 7.
So they have newer movie stuff in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They don't have anything from Rogue One or Solo, though, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Did you build your own lightsaber?
I had done that before, so I did
not. I looked for a shirt last time I was there because it's like, I should get a Star Wars shirt because I like Star Wars. But like the problem with Star Wars shirts I found recently is I just want something nice and classy. It's just like a logo, like a Rebellion or Empire or something. Just a nice logo or something that doesn't call too much attention to itself. But every fucking Star Wars shirt is just like Star Wars, and it's got like it's basically like a poster. Someone took the poster and printed on a shirt.
Oh,
it's like it's a little much. It's just like not really my thing.
Yeah, you don't want something too loud.
They also have something a little less busy, a little more just nice and classy. I mean, you can get custom made and stuff, but I just don't want to do that. I just want to go buy something.
Yeah, I was looking for a shirt this time around, and I didn't see anything that I quite liked, so I held off on it. Okay, so some rides that I hadn't been on before that I went on for the first time this time. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
I went on that for the first time too last time.
That was fun.
Slap hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. That ride's fucking... I told you about that. That ride's dark.
It is dark. It's like blacklight dark.
Well, no, it's like that, but it's also like you're a guy who dies and goes to hell.
Oh, right.
That's the story.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it ends. You're just like, what the fuck?
Right.
So you're a drunk driver who drives through Jolly London town like an asshole, and you die, and you go to fucking hell, and you're getting poked by like demons.
That's like some vintage, classic, genuine Walt Disney storytelling right there. I went on Alice in Wonderland. That was fun.
The teacups?
No.
Oh, I haven't been on that one.
Yeah, it was similar to Mr. Toad's, actually.
I mean, all those are basically the same. I haven't been on Peter Pan either.
Peter Pan's fun. Last time I went was when I was like 10, though. Yeah.
See, last time I went to Disneyland was Labor Day, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Disneyland. I'm gonna ride all the rides I haven't ridden before because there were so many I haven't ridden. So I went to like Splash Mountain. I went to the Tom Sawyer's fucking big boat thing, which was delightful.
Yeah.
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, as many as I could get onto that Cars ride. Also, I've never been on that because it's always like a 3-hour fucking wait.
Oh.
So that was nice. I still didn't get to go on Jungle Cruise. Didn't get to go on. Oh, I went on Big Thunder Railroad for the first time.
Me too. This man, that is my favorite ride.
That's a great ride. I don't know why I've never been on it.
It's like it has no tie-in to any movie or anything. It's just this cool ass like Wild West mining town setting thing, and you just go up into this roller coaster and you just fly down.
I'm surprised that when Disney was had the whole success with Pirates, they didn't try harder to make either Space Mountain or Big Thunder Railroad their own thing.
Oh.
Space Mountain seems more easy to adapt.
Space Mountain. Okay, so I went on Space Mountain for the first time.
First time?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm famously kind of weary of roller coasters. I'm not gonna lie.
So I don't like scary movies, and you don't like scary roller coasters.
Well, no, listen, I actually get sick.
Oh, so scary.
Yeah, I mean, I get scared and I also get sick afterwards. But no, Space Mountain is fucking terrifying for me, at least.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
What it was is. So this, because it was Halloween, right? It was like...
it was scary, Space Mountain.
It was like a ghost...
Like Ghost Mountain or whatever
ghost
the fuck they do.
Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
It was a galaxy that looked like a scary-ass ghost. And so you're climbing up the thing, right? And it's sort of... It looks like you're going into space. And then all of a sudden you're just in complete darkness except for stars and this scary ass looking galaxy ghost. And dude, I was just screaming the entire time. I was screaming when the ride was over.
I have to go with to Disneyland with you to see that in person.
I was, it was the end of the ride, and I'm like, oh god, oh no, and my girlfriend's like, hey, it's over. Like it's nothing's happening anymore.
That picture. I want to see that picture.
Oh yeah, I didn't get the picture, but it was.
Did you go on the Matterhorn?
No, it was closed.
No, the Matterhorn sucks. It hurts my ass.
Oh,
it's so bumpy.
Apparently on the Big Thunder, what was it, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad? There's some story about someone getting like decapitated or
Lies.
something like that. Oh, really?
I think there's only one confirmed death in Disneyland. It was someone getting trapped between the walls in oops, I hit the mic. Someone between the walls in the what's now the Star Wars launch bay, whatever you call that building, because it used to rotate.
Oh.
I was watching a thing about this channel on YouTube that basically does like histories of rides at certain amusement parks, mostly like Disneyland parks.
Uh-huh.
And there was like some ride that you'd sit in a thing and you'd rotate, and like someone once accidentally, because it used to, though it would rotate, and so if you were caught between the walls, you'd just get crushed to death.
Oh my god. Did. Ugh.
Yeah. So I think that's the only death on Disneyland property.
Jeez.
So that the other one's just bullshit.
And that's probably like 20 less deaths than Universal Studios.
I don't know. The only amusement park, also thanks to this channel, that I know is notorious for having a lot of deaths is Action Park in New Jersey, which has like 4 deaths.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Apparently, which I had never heard about before, and now having heard about it, it's all I hear about. You know that phenomenon?
No.
Where like you don't know of something and then you learn about it and you see it everywhere.
Yeah. No. Just today, I had never heard this before. Victimhood.
Oh, you never heard about
people
that?
mentioning victimhood culture.
I never heard of the culture. I don't know what you're talking. I know the word.
But I saw that once in the morning today, and I'm like, huh, that's like a weird way of saying that. And then I saw it again later on today. I'm like, has this been around this whole time and just I haven't seen it?
Like I remember like when Super Smash Bros. Melee came out, I'm like, what's Melee? And I looked it up, and like after that, like I saw it like used in sentences everywhere. It's like, what?
Oh.
What is it? Where'd this come from? You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like Action Park, like I saw this little mini documentary about how brazen and dangerous it was.
Uh-huh.
And like ever since then, like I've heard like, you know, multiple people and different like podcasts and shows and stuff reference Action Park. It's like, huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird how that works.
There's a I don't know if it's science. There's a name for it though, like the blank phenomenon or the blank thing or whatever.
Yeah. I think, you know, to a certain extent, I think people do work that way.
Oh, yes.
There is like some weird psychology that's like really like communal like that, you know? Mm-hmm. But so anyways, I went a couple more rides I went on that I hadn't been on before. One was the Storybook ride.
The boat one?
Yeah,
that one's fun. It's nice.
It's a pleasant little thing.
I went on that one when it was during the fireworks. That was very fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we went on that after dark, and there was like a bunch of ducks that just planted themselves on these little miniature things. So I was like, oh, I didn't know Aladdin's kingdom had giant ducks attacking it, or you know.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What is another one? I went on the Buzz Lightyear thing where you're shooting at the
Astro Blasters.
Yeah, that was all right. It was okay. It was a little less interactive than I would have.
It's hard. I don't understand. Like I don't like that ride because I never know if I'm doing good or not.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only indication is the little number thing on your.
I'm too busy looking at the targets, and all I hear is like a. I don't know like how much score I'm getting. I'm sure there's ways to tell, but I'm. Well,
here's the thing.
Just bad.
What I notice is you're looking at your gun, and then it'll flash green when you hit something.
Yeah, I know. I get that, but I don't know if
it's
like, is this like a good target? Is this like a cheap, shitty baby target? Like, I don't know. And every time I'm hitting stuff good, and then like, you know, like I get creamed.
You get creamed.
I get crushed. Like my girlfriend like just destroys me every time.
Now, you know what I'd love? I know the spelling is different, but I would love if the Buzz Lightyear universe was connected with the StarCraft universe.
Oh.
Because of the Zerg.
Yeah, that would be nice.
There's Zerg, and then there's the Zerg. And Buzz Lightyear, his outfit is kind of like the Terran.
It is kind of, isn't it?
It's almost like this happens before or after StarCraft.
I'm sure that fan art exists.
Oh yeah.
The better version of Astro Blasters is the Toy Story Mania in what is now Pixar Pier.
Oh,
because it's actually like
we tried
VR.
to get in that too.
That one's a lot of fun. That's always a long wait too.
That was like a 2+ hour wait. Yeah.
This whole episode's basically Disneyland talk, which is fine.
That's fine.
No one listened to us for real content.
Hey, we got our couple of fans out there that are really cool, and hey, a shout out to you guys. Thanks for listening.
And like, hey, if you're not from the area, we're just giving you a crash course of all the things to see.
That's right. The good brides, the good rides, the good rides, the bad rides. You know, there's not really any bad rides at Disney. When I was walking around,
wrong. You are wrong. Autopia is garbage.
What is that?
Autopia is that ride next to the Star Wars launch bay where you ride
a car, right?
A shitty diesel chugging car that smells like gasoline, and you drive it on a rail, but like you're still driving it, but you can't go off the rail, so there's really no point. I don't understand.
For kids. That ride, no, we ran into that too. We didn't go on it.
I went on because I'd never been on it, and so it's like I can't, like, this ride's huge. It takes up so much real estate. I have to go on it.
But here's the thing: if you're like, because here's the thing: if you're like 8 years old, you got to think back to before we ever knew how to drive cars.
Go fucking ride a real go-kart. Don't go on fucking Autopia.
Yeah.
Autopia, you're like, I don't know, like you're on a rail and you can't do anything. Like real go-karts, at least you could like drive around. They give you a helmet, you could crash if you need to. That's fun.
So then we went over to California Adventure. We had some dinner, which was great, and we
get some beer. Oh wait, never mind.
Couldn't get into either Pixar rides that we wanted to get into.
The roller coasters, like the thing about like, you didn't go on the roller coaster, I assume?
No.
The problem with that is that roller coaster was fine, and then they just gave it a Incredibles makeover, but they painted it red. And now it's like fucking like everyone's clamoring on it. It's like, God damn it, it's the same ride.
That ride looks terrifying.
Let me ride it alone. Really? It's just like a rinky-dink one loop coaster. What are you talking about?
One loop?
Just got one loop.
Oh, yeah, no, fuck all that.
So scared.
I'm not going upside down.
Scaredy cat.
I am. No, that's my one rule. All right, I am not going upside down on a roller coaster.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Fuck that.
You would love. There are two coasters. One you would love. There was one back in Chicago where it was a Superman themed coaster where they'd put you in like on a dangly,
I've heard
and then
about
they'd
this.
tilt you up, which was cool. And then like when you ascent, the floor would drop out essentially, so you'd just be like staring at like 70 to 80 feet drop while you went up. And I was always like, well, I'm glad this harness is holding me in, because if it broke, I'd be dead.
Yep, I'm not going anywhere near that.
And then another coaster that I'm sure you'd love is I went to Silver Dollar City in scenic Branson, Missouri this past summer, and it has a really interesting coaster where what?
Where did you go?
Branson, Missouri. It's like Branson, Missouri is one of those places where it's like the Wisconsin Dells, and I'm sure there's other places out there that I don't know about. It's one of those, like, it has like a very like kind of okay like scene, like nature value. Like there's like the Dells are like a nice lake, and like I don't know, Branson's got like the mountains or whatever.
But you also have some relevancy in Missouri. Because you went there for something, right?
It was for my family reunion, because it was a centralized location, but like that, not because like I don't know anyone from.
Well,
Missouri.
No, what I mean is like I was just curious about why you went to Missouri.
Well, that's why, because it was for a family reunion,
right?
Anyways, but it's one of those things where it's just like there's like some natural formation, and then like some really weird, hyper, like cheesy, like tourist trap just brings out of it.
Oh,
and so those places like Chinese acrobats and horse shows and like every single country artist cover band that you could possibly imagine.
Wow,
it's like, this is just so bizarre. I'm sure that like, well, I'm sure like hundreds of thousands of people enjoy it unironically. I'm sure like 10% of those people also enjoy it ironically. Me personally, I just thought it was really a beautiful landscape and stuff. Yeah. But they had a really surprisingly great amusement park in the area called Silver Dollar City. I thought it was just going to be kind of like a county fair kind of thing, similar to what the LA County Fair, and just kind of like whatever rides and have some fun. And it was like, I'd compare it to Knott's Berry Farm around here, like a legit good park, like clean and like nice and well themed and all that stuff.
I've been curious about Knott's Berry. I mean, I went as a kid.
It's just like a Six Flags kind of, but probably better. It's got more jam, that's for sure.
It's got Snoopy.
Yeah, well,
Snoopy's in there.
Like everything's got Snoopy. Cedar Point's got Snoopy, man.
Oh yeah. He's a little whore, that Snoopy.
Yeah. Anyways, it had a roller coaster that was like a regular steel roller coaster, loops and all that shit. But you were in a cart that was basically on a swivel, so you would spin around in a circle while going through this thing. I've never been more confused in my fucking life. At the end of that ride, I didn't know which direction was up, what was down. I was just like, what?
Yeah, I would
happened?
throw up. I would be sick for like an hour. After that.
You might actually. That was a cool ride, but I was like, okay, did that, not doing that for a few months.
Well, here's the thing. After Space Mountain, there was about a good 20 minutes where I felt like I was gonna, I don't know.
You should have gone to the Star Wars launch bay and hug Chewbacca. Chewbacca makes you feel better.
Yeah.
You could see all the live action recreations of all the lightsabers from the animated shows.
What?
Oh, this is cool stuff in the Star Wars launch bay.
Oh, okay.
Helmets and shit.
I mean, I remember walking by some performance where some faux Jedi. It was the Jedi Academy. That's right.
Oh, they're getting rid of that.
And those kids were like so serious about it. They were so into it.
I would be so fucking into it. When I came back to Disneyland for the first time in like a decade in like 2011 around when I first moved out here, and I was like, because I was like when they like right after they did the new Star Tours reboot and they had more Star Wars stuff, and I was like, and then they showed that thing, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool! Look, these kids are still there. Like Darth Maul was there and stuff. I had a blast, and
they had Darth Maul walking around.
Yeah, for that one. And then when they did this, the pre-episode 7 like Star Wars themed everything around there. Oh man, that was my favorite time I've ever been to Disneyland.
Man,
and Star Wars is next summer. Star Wars Land's opening up, man.
Where is that going?
It's going
because it's not Toontown,
in the northwest part of the park, so near Big Thunder Railroad.
Okay, so it's going into Disneyland, but it's not going because the original story I heard was, oh yeah, they're tearing down Toontown and putting in Star Wars.
No,
and I thought, how funny. That's the premise of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and now it's being torn down.
No, Toontown's here to stay. I actually haven't been to Toontown. I kind of always avoid it, not because it's like I just never because it's like it's out of the way. You have to go up there purposely, and I never do.
We tried getting on the Roger Rabbit ride.
There's a Roger Rabbit ride.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's right when you go into Toontown.
I've never been up near Toontown.
And it was the weirdest thing because we were in line for this thing, and there was this little window where you could see into the ride. And we saw these carts coming in with nobody in them, but they just kept coming in and going around with nobody in them. And the line wasn't moving, and we're like, what the fuck is going on right now? So then we just left. Like after 20 minutes, we're just like, yeah, we're out of here. We're going. It was the weirdest thing.
Weird.
I'm trying to think of what. Oh, okay. So one more thing I want to mention about this. We went into California Adventure, and then the only ride we went on, and it was actually a really fun ass ride. It wasn't Soaring California. It was Soaring the World.
Oh, Soaring World.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. We went through Paris. We went through parts of Africa.
Fine. I don't know for you. When I was on that ride last, it was because I only went on Soaring California previously. It was like and also like the screen was like really warped. So like
yes, it was very warped.
The effect didn't quite work.
We literally saw the Eiffel Tower turn into like this weird bendy thing.
It's like an Inception.
It was a nice. You know what it was? It was a nice chaser for a 13-hour day at Disneyland.
Oh no, yeah, it's a good like let's just sit ride, you know.
And the people working there, you could tell they didn't give two fucks about what they were doing.
Like I have a feeling that in 20 years, California Adventure will become Disney's other properties park.
Yes,
basically like. You're more like I'm sure they'll like turn things from they'll turn like Hollywood area into like Zootopia, and they'll turn this into that. And put Marvel stuff and shit. And that's one of the first rides on the chopping block. I feel is no one gives a fuck about Soaring World or whatever.
Who knows? I'm gunning for it. I hope it sticks around. But yeah, I think the next Disneyland trip I take, I'm gonna prioritize California Adventure first, and then hop over to Disneyland.
Well, I would say, I'd say, get a fast pass to something, either Guardians or Cars, then do as much as you can do in California Adventure, or cross over to Disneyland and then go back. It's important to get one of those fast passes first.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because, Guardians is really good.
I might go on Guardians.
Is your girlfriend not like the drop rides?
No.
I don't like drop rides like usually, but that's special. It's because it's like different.
I mean, is it literally just you go up and then you drop?
No, it goes up and down and back and forth and stuff. And there's like little scenes that happen in between. Like they're like little like the Guardians show up and like fighting monsters and stuff.
Gotcha.
It's fun.
I might be interested in that.
It's cool stuff. It's
Yeah, I guess that's it was a 13-hour day, and it's
a long day.
Definitely, it was well worth it. It was great. So cool.
Yep.
Thanks again.
What's your favorite ride you went on?
I mean, I honestly think it was that Big Thunder Railroad.
That's a good ride. That's cool. A good ride.
If you haven't been on that, I feel like most people probably haven't been on that either.
I don't know why
it's
I never
great
did.
Ride.
Like I just kind of like just completely forgot about it. I don't know why I've never been on it. Like I'm just like kicking myself now. It's like I could have been on this ride instead of all these other rides.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it is, the only smoking area in the entire park is tucked behind the Big Thunder Railroad ride.
Well,
yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, I really gotta go on Jungle Cruise before that movie comes out. How am I gonna understand all the references?
Oh, there's a movie.
Oh yeah, that's a movie they're making.
Jungle Cruise
with Dwayne the Rock Johnson dressed up in essentially the same costume as Jumanji. And I think it's got Emily Blunt in it. Mary Poppins is Emily Blunt.
Okay.
That movie looks pretty delightful.
Is it just them on a jungle cruise?
Sure, I'm sure. And there's probably a big snake or whatever happens in there. I've never been on a jungle cruise. How the fuck will I know? I hope they have a Dole Whip. That'd be fun. Do you go on there's that tiki room.
We didn't do that.
It's kind of okay.
Yeah.
We were going to try and go. I think it was closed last time because that was one of the things that my girlfriend's never been on or haven't been on in a long time.
Stuff?
Yeah, the Magic Tiki Room.
Oh, okay.
We did go to the Disneyland's tiki-themed bar near the hotel. That place was awesome.
Are you talking about in downtown Disney there?
No, it's further near the hotel, actually, like on the hotel premises.
What am I thinking of?
Oh, there's like tons of shit in downtown.
There's
Disney.
There's that one place. Oh well, whatever.
ESPN Zone?
No.
Disney Quest?
No. It's fine.
But that was fun because every time you make a specialty drink, the bartenders are like, "It's a monsoon!" And they push a button. They all have to like dance or whatever. Well, they don't dance, but like there's like the sound effects, and they're like, "Ah!" But they're all really into it. It's fun. I had a great time.
Yeah. I haven't been to Anaheim in quite a while.
I've only ever been to Disneyland and the convention center. I haven't set foot in the city of Anaheim proper.
Yeah. I felt when I moved down here, especially, I feel like 2015 was full of like Anaheim trips for whatever reason. But yeah, it's been probably about a year since I've been down there.
Man, so. I wish I would. When fucking Star Wars Celebration was in Anaheim, I wish I would have gone. I don't know why I didn't.
Oh.
I just didn't think it'd be as cool as it was, I guess. I don't know. And no one else wanted to go with me because
Hey, Alex, anytime you want to go, I'll go with you.
Well, the next one's Chicago. I'm also going to be missing that too because I'm going to be, across the sea.
Where?
Oh, I have a trip to Austria.
Oh, that's right. Cool.
I've been taking German lessons.
Really? I didn't know that. Like you actually like take it like from a teacher?
No, like on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Ich spreche kein Deutsch.
Which
means I do not speak German.
Ah, okay. There you go. Well, cool, man. I mean, that's that's an adventure in itself.
It is. I usually do it during lunch nowadays, but I didn't get to do it today because I went to Gus's Chicken.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Folks, if you're LA folks and you want some good ass fried chicken, Gus's Fried Chicken, which is at several locations, I think, is damn good.
And I'm not afraid to say this. That's right up the street from me, y'all. So yeah, go to Gus's. It's great.
Damn good. Well,
maybe you'll see me there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? Mm-hmm, man.
Maybe we should just end early and go to Gus's right now.
That'd be pretty awesome. Except I already had it today, and Gus is like a one-a-day thing. You cannot tempt fate by having too much Gus's.
Gus. Yeah. Well, shit. I mean, I guess there's nothing really other to say about Disneyland.
I guess so. I mean, I have one more thing we could talk about.
Sure.
If
yeah.
you want
go for
to
it.
just pad out this runtime as we do. I saw a classic film.
What was it?
From the year 1998.
Let me guess. Let's do like a 20 questions kind of thing with this,
right.
okay? Is it live action?
Well, here you didn't see it on Letterboxd, did you? Because that's always a risk. Okay, good. Yes.
It's live action.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good in a critical? Is it critically acclaimed?
No.
Okay, so it's.
I mean, it's kind of like lukewarm, I guess.
Okay.
More cult, more popular than critically acclaimed, I assume.
Is it an action movie?
Yes.
Is it an action sci-fi movie?
Not really. I mean, sort of, but not really.
Okay. 98. 98. Does it star a man or a woman?
It's not a question. I mean, like, that's not like a yes. It's got to be yes or no questions, man. If you're playing 20 questions.
Okay. Does it star a man?
Yes.
Is it ensemble cast?
No.
Okay. Is it a James Bond movie?
No.
Okay.
There was no Bond movie came out in 98.
Okay. I don't know. Action movie.
I can give you a hint.
A little sliver of sci-fi in there.
It's a horror-themed action movie.
Horror-themed action. Okay. 98.
Yeah, a supernatural action movie, if you will.
Oh, supernatural.
Like horror, like horror stuff.
Deep Blue Sea.
No.
Hollow Man.
That was 2000.
Oh, okay.
Another.
You can
hint.
go ahead.
I'm trying to give another hint. I want you to see you guys.
Okay.
It has a supporting cast includes Chris Christopherson.
Oh. Wait.
And Steven Dorff, I think his name was.
I don't know who that is.
All right, neither do I.
Chris Christopherson. I want to make sure I know. Okay. I want to make sure I know who that is because I feel like I often mistake him for somebody else. What has Chris Christopherson been in?
I don't remember. I know he was in the original, not the original, but one of the older A Star Is Borns as Bradley Cooper's character, the 70s one.
That guy. Gotcha. Starring Chris Christopherson, an action movie?
Yeah. The main character has a sword.
Is it like Highlander or something?
No.
No.
It's a classic.
Okay, so it's well
Vampires
known.
like
it's
it.
It's well known.
Vampires love it.
Oh, Blade.
It was Blade.
The first Blade.
The first Blade. Vampires love Blade.
How do you like it? How do you like that movie?
That movie's stupid.
I know the ending gets incredibly crazy,
Mike,
crazy bad, but...
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Is that a line from the movie?
That's Wesley Snipes' triumphant "I killed the bad guy" line.
Oh my god!
Or like "I'm about to kill the bad guy" line.
Well,
that movie's got some terrible CG. The blood, there's like some.
Yes.
The main villain doesn't turn to a blood monster, but he he's got like gross blobby the abyss blood.
Yeah.
Pouring out of him. It looks terrible.
It's really bad.
There's a bunch of gross Batman. It's real dumb. Real bad in a good way, though. It's very entertaining, though. Because they say vampire every other sentence, which is hilarious. It gets really funny. Anytime Wesley Snipes says anything with the sword, it goes... and he puts it away with such flourish. But, the movie is saved because Wesley Snipes is such a fucking good action star. He's kicking ass in that movie.
He's oozing charisma, and it was a shame.
I wouldn't call it charisma. It's more just he's just a really competent physical actor, And he's kicking people all over the place. And
it was a shame when he had to flee the country and couldn't.
He didn't flee the country.
Anymore.
He got arrested and thrown in jail for dodging taxes.
He
was put into prison.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought he had just okay. Now, a couple of things about this movie. Have I told you my experience with Blade?
No.
I saw Blade over at a friend's house.
The original Blade?
The original Blade, yes. And this person is the worst person to watch movies with because, for one, he's always talking over him. And secondly, he's always fast-forwarding to just the parts he likes. And that is the worst. So the only experience I have with Blade is watching an abridged 30-minute version of this movie.
Oh, Christ.
And him talking over us fast forward. Back then it was VHS, so it was us talking over him talking over the VHS of this movie. So I legitimately haven't seen Blade.
It's
but
on Netflix now, man.
Yeah.
Gotta check it out.
Something with his mother in that movie, right?
It's nonsense.
She's like a vampire.
Utter nonsense. Yeah. That plot's like introduced really, really quickly. One of the actors, I was like, hey, oh my God, that's the guy from VH1's I Love the 80s.
Oh. Wait, who? What?
I forget his name. But like, apparently he's in like lots of stuff, which is great for him because I always liked him on that show and in stuff. He was on that show Terriers too.
Oh.
I don't know, but like, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. That guy is like in a real movie. Awesome. And like, he's in real stuff all the time, that like TV shows and stuff I don't watch.
You talking about Hal Sparks?
No, not Hal Sparks, but he was like another actor like Hal Sparks.
Gotcha.
But I was like, that's super sweet. Because like, it's kind of weird because like, also, like I was talking about my girlfriend, she's like, you never watched or even heard about that show? Like, you haven't watched I Love the 80s? Like, if it wasn't for I Love the 70s and I Love the 80s and even a bit of I Love the 90s, like my pop culture foundation would be so much lessened. Like, laid such a thick slab of foundation for me. Like, just not only in stuff to like that I just like know about that I've never seen, but like things to see because of that show.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely.
So, and
it's too bad because with I Love the different decades,
they ran out of steam.
They just, they went too far.
They did like 3 volumes of every decade. Then they did I Love the 2000s, which in like 2007.
Like while it was still happening.
And they were like, there's nothing here. Like that. You become Best Week Ever, and no one likes Best Week Ever.
Yeah. One thing I will say really quickly, I was in a band, and our last show that we played was with Hal Sparks' metal band.
Again?
Huh?
Yeah, I thought you said you saw him before. You saw him again?
No, this is where I met him.
Oh, I thought you said, you were with a band in the last gig. I thought you were with your current band the last gig.
No. The last gig I did with some previous band was at like this weird like deli meat factory / venue.
Oh, so fucking metal.
And
just knives.
We're playing to nobody. Everybody's playing to no crowd. And Hal Sparks' metal band was playing, so I got a chance to meet him. Super nice guy. I mean, predictably, he's very nice. He's a very nice guy. But anyways, Blade. The second thing I wanted to say about it is a lot of people credit this movie as being, whenever I bring up X-Men and Spider-Man, where it was like, X-Men really like ushered in this second era of comic book movies. A lot of people say, well, Blade did too.
No, it didn't.
And I feel like that's not true.
Nobody knows. Ask any person. Nobody knows Blade's from a comic book. Nothing. They just know it from the movie.
Blade, I would say, is categorically not a superhero movie.
It's like, it's not. Well, it's not super. It's even not superhero. It's not comic book. It's like it's a comic book movie, and technically, it's a comic book movie in the same way that Road to Perdition's a comic book movie,
or like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or something. It's not in the lexicon of.
It's not a superhero movie.
Yeah.
And I would not group it with that. It also because X-Men, Spider-Man with a 1-2 punch that brought back this superhero genre, not the comic book movie genre, which had never truly died because you even had Ghost World around that time.
Yeah.
Comic book movies have been going on forever.
And it's just interesting. Yeah, I don't remember it kickstarting a comic book movie fad for sure.
It was definitely like, it was one amongst many, but it was Spider-Man and X-Men that kicked off phase 2 of the superhero revival, which died out again until phase 3 with the Dark Knight Iron Man.
It's funny, yeah. I mean, if
I'm gonna, or wave 3 if you want. I'm doing my history in waves.
Yeah. I mean, I guess first wave would be.
If you want to be technical, probably fourth wave because you got Superman.
But Superman didn't like.
All it kicked off was a wave of shitty Superman movies, though.
Right? Yeah, it was just Superman.
So I would say that's why I usually don't include it. That's why I say Batman '89 was the first kickoff, where you got a bunch of really garbage Marvel movies, and Dick Tracy and The Shadow, and also strangely a bunch of 60s television show revivals, because it was like Batman's super successful. Bunch. Is it superheroes? Is it the 60s TV aspect? We don't fucking know. Flintstones the movie, greenlight it.
By the way, talk about a movie that doesn't hold up. The Flintstones movie.
It has a great visual design.
I love the visual development for the movie.
I watched half an hour of that movie fairly recently. I'm like, well, I'm not watching any more of this, but
not good.
It's got some really nice props.
Yeah. And like it has like a young, very unknown Halle Berry in it, which I didn't realize she was in that movie. Yeah.
And Kyle MacLachlan, everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
And then Yeah, and then that died out, and then you got your death knell with the Batman and Robin, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then you got your Phase 2 X-Men, Spider-Man 1-2 Punch revival, which died out with like Elektra.
I'd say by 2006.
I think Ghost Rider was like the last gasps around. That was like 07, I think, around there.
Well, and what's interesting though is like,
I mean, you have like little pockets of Batman Begins and stuff.
Right.
Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Batman Begins is like this
removed.
outlier of like Batman Begins was in 2005, and it was like at that time sort of ahead of its time, kind of like.
It's also like kind of like the problem with the Dark Knight trilogy is they like occupy like a different genre than most superhero movies.
Yeah.
Like they're not trying. They're just kind of like
They're not trying to be
dramas.
superheroes. Yeah.
For the most part, which is why it's hard to even credit like. Even like for the Dark Knight, like it's hard to credit that with being the real cause of the. I would say Iron Man.
No. I mean, if anything, the Nolan Batman trilogy sort of was the precursor to the now DCEU stuff.
Yeah, and that's
right?
not going great so far.
No.
I would say that it's really the Avengers that really kicked off this new stuff. Like
Well,
Iron
Man.
Iron Man was a success. Iron Man kicked off the MCU, but it was the Avengers that kicked off like now. That movie made like I want to have like $1 billion or whatever.
Right.
And that when that happened, studios are like, well,
Avengers.
we got to make some superhero movies, don't we?
Yeah, because Avengers set this new benchmark of like, oh, we got to make a connected universe.
Yeah, that too.
And all that. Yeah.
Which still hasn't paid off for anyone except for maybe the Universal, not the Universal,
the big monsters,
the monsters,
kaiju.
the Kaijuverse, yeah.
But it hasn't paid off yet.
Not yet, but maybe. It's
Right.
the only one that's set up to do anything with that. Oh, and also the Conjuring universe, if you will.
Oh, right. I haven't seen any of those.
No,
so
but
I
that's
have
the
no
only other
idea.
one that, like, it's also, that one never intended to be a cinematic universe, and it was because if you start off with the intent of making a cinematic universe, like, obviously, you're going to fail.
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing: when King Kong vs. Godzilla comes out, unless it's like a huge swing and a miss, I think it'll make a ton of money. I think it has the potential to make it.
Well, I mean,
ton of money.
Godzilla 2 comes out next year, and I am thrilled. That movie is
that looks good.
Like top 5 most anticipated movies of 2019.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, it's like that, Hellboy, Star Wars, very obviously, and then like there's like probably 2 things. No, wait, Bond got delayed.
Right. Yeah.
Avengers 2, then maybe Avengers 4. I mean, Avengers Infinity War 2, Avengers 4, Infinity War 2. What would you do if they called it that?
They won't.
They won't. No.
I don't know. I get the impression that maybe they'll call it an Infinity Gauntlet, but maybe.
I heard the rumor I've heard, it's like this is also like just like some guy on the internet being like, "What if they call it this?" It's like, "Ooh, it's gonna be called Avengers Endgame."
Endgame? No thanks.
The Russo brothers tweeted, Instagrammed, I don't know, social media, a bunch of really cryptic photos, and you're like, "Look closely," and it's like, Like one of them like looks like it has letters in the background. It's like, does this spell something out? Ooh, and like all the people I saw with their like bad drawovers are like really reaching for things.
Oh yeah.
There's like maybe 2 or 3 obvious letters, but like most of them are just like nonsense.
Right. Hey, I'm sure it'll be just as good as part 1. I'm confident in what they're doing. So. Captain Marvel, did we talk about that at all?
The trailer, I mean, like it's just like
just
whatever.
Boilerplate Marvel, yeah.
I think I said, I don't know if I said on the air, but it's like, hey, it looks like Marvel. I like Marvel. That's basically my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say though is they have that weird anti-aging or reverse aging thing down to a science, man. That shit looks good.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure
Yeah.
they do. I mean, they have to.
Yeah.
I saw some on the set photos from Spider-Man Far From Home. Spidey's got a new suit, man.
He was on Jimmy Kimmel or one of those shows. Yeah, he had the new suit on.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, he went on there with the new suit.
Oh,
it's
nice.
like red and black, right?
Yeah, it's like the original, like the
Yeah.
very original Spider-Man suit.
That's cool.
That's cool.
I'm into that.
I like. Yeah, it's like, oh, nice. Yeah, very classy.
Man, I can't wait.
And you got Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio.
I'm Mysterio. I can't. I don't
Jake
know his
Gyllenhaal
voice,
doesn't do the same voice all the time.
are they gonna give him the dome face?
Oh, they had better. How would you not?
Let's bet $5 right now that I'm gonna say they won't.
I'm gonna say they will.
I'm gonna say they'll reference it at some point, but him walking around like in the third act, he's not going to.
I disagree. I think it's very easy to make a cool looking dome head costume.
But here's the thing: you gotta like sort of have, with this universe or whatever, this movie universe, it's sort of like they gotta practicalize it. They gotta give you a reason why it's happening.
Well, he doesn't even have a practical reason in the comics. It's like some illusion thing. I don't know. It's cool to see Mysterio doing something though. That's always nice.
Never thought I'd see a movie with Mysterio in it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
So what other Spider-Man villains are left now that need their due? Because you got like in any of the movies, because I think that's pretty much all of them. No, Scorpion.
The real bummer about it is I get the impression that these new Spider-Man movies are not going to feature any of his heavyweights.
Well, I mean, like Scorpion was teased at the end of the last movie. So.
Right. And that actor's a great actor. I love that guy.
Who was that
guy? He's been in he's in Breaking Bad, or not Breaking Bad. He's in Better Call Saul, and he was also in I don't remember the name of the show, but it's like this it's this show where this woman finds out she has like 9 clones of herself. Orphan Black, yeah, he's in that too.
That's cool. Well, yeah, and I was like, that's just Scorpion.
Yeah, if they have him featured, he's man.
I bet he'll probably be featured in the same way that Crossbones was featured in Civil War.
Right.
I'm trying to think.
That guy's cool.
So you got Shocker, you got Electro, you got Doc Ock. I'd like to see the MCU's version of Doc Ock and or Green Goblin.
Both of those, I feel like it's going to be a huge missed opportunity if they don't use them for something. Because those are Spider-Man's too, like, I mean, those are the top Spider-Man villains, right? You can't just ignore them.
I mean, I don't think they're trying to on purpose.
No, it's smart what they're doing.
They should get Bryan Cranston to be Dr. Octopus. Be a sexy Doc Ock.
I'd be fine with it.
And like he can pull off sad scientist really well. Is the only reason. Like I know everyone loves Bryan Cranston, and so do I. But like I'm just thinking of like who would be like a tragic sad scientist who gets turned into Octopus Man? Bryan Cranston's good at playing a sad. He's good at playing a sad scientist.
Aaron Paul. They should use Aaron Paul as.
Aaron Paul could be like they already used Shocker, but he can be someone of Shocker's caliber.
Spider-Man.
I'd be awesome if they got Vincent D'Onofrio to make the jump to the movies and be Kingpin.
There's nothing saying that they can't do that. I mean he is the best thing about any of those shows.
People like that new season of Daredevil.
Is it already out?
I don't know.
I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming out very soon. And he's coming back for it.
Mr. Negative is a guy. I don't know what his deal is. We already have the
Scarlet Spider.
I mean, like Black Cat. I'm trying to think of things that aren't already on Sony's plate.
It's like Kraven the Hunter, but
Sony has Morbius
movie,
and Kraven the Hunter and the Black Cat and Silver Sable all kind of lined up.
So
those don't count.
Just stop, Sony. Although I mean, if it's like Venom, then I guess at least I'll enjoy the movie. But it's just why do that? Yeah, I don't know who else Spider-Man has.
That's basically it. I think he's
Rhino.
Yeah, you already used Rhino. I'm just trying to think of unused.
For
the most part,
unused. Okay,
like Scorpion's the one I can think of right now, and like Mr. Negative, I think, because they got Shocker already and all those dudes.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
And then the ones that I already mentioned that Sony's already gotten claims to, so that doesn't count. I don't know who's left.
I think
besides the ones that aren't are basically just like Hobgoblin or variations of other villains we've already seen.
I think that might be it.
Ben Reilly?
Who?
The clone spider. Ben Reilly.
Oh, Scarlet Spider. Right?
Oh, you already said that.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it was called. For a second, I thought you were talking about, like, was it Silk? One of the other. There's like 1,000 different spider people.
There's like Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Pig.
Oh, yeah, Spider-Pig.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's probably it.
All right.
Spider Talk, Disney Talk, whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to tell us what the best ride at Disneyland is, why don't you tell us at filmtestedvoyage.com, filmtestedvoyage@gmail.com, filmtestedvoyage at Facebook, filmtestedvoyage at YouTube, and us on Letterboxd. I'm Batman Crothers.
I'm Mr. Kerosene. We are a part of a bigger podcast network, the Lenny Listen Podcast Network. You can find all the Let Me Listen podcasts on our SoundCloud and our iTunes. There's movie-related podcasts and otherwise. So leave some comments, leave some reviews. Hey, why don't you tell your friends about us? Tell us about your friends. We want to know your life story, all right? You spend so much time with us. Why don't we spend some time with you?
Yeah, it's a little one-sided.
Yeah. Listen, everybody. Have some voyages of your own, please. Funtastic voyages.
Disneyland-tastic voyages.
Yeah.
Come out to Cali, as they call it, as the kids say these days.
Yeah. Listen, guys, we're gonna go. We're tired. I'm tired. We're tired. I'm tired.